Embarkation day might feel like the start of vacation, but for experienced cruisers, it's actually the most critical day of the trip. One wrong move, or even just forgetting one tiny thing, can set your whole cruise off on the wrong foot. The smartest passengers have a routine, and they follow it like clockwork. And today, I'm sharing exactly what they do, so you can cruise smarter, smoother, and with zero regrets. You'll never look at Embarkation Day the same way again. I used to think Embarkation Day was just about showing up and boarding. But then I had a cruise day that went totally off the rails. Stress, delays, missed opportunities. And when I stepped back and really looked at what went wrong, I realized the truth. It wasn't bad luck. It was me. Everything that went wrong, I could have prevented with a little planning. So, I talked to smart cruisers, tested new strategies on several cruises, and now, I've got a routine that turns Embarkation Day into a smooth, stress-free start to the trip. Let's walk through exactly what I do, so your next cruise starts off right. Most people head straight to the buffet after boarding. It's familiar, fast, and open, but I've learned that skipping it on day one is one of the smartest moves I can make. The buffet is always the busiest spot on Embarkation Day. Crowded lines, packed tables, and not the most relaxing welcome aboard meal. Instead, I head to the main dining room, or a specialty restaurant if it's open. It's quieter, calmer, and the service is better. And while I'm enjoying lunch, I get a few critical things done. If I'm on fixed dining, I check my table, and if I don't like it, I ask the maitre d' to change it early, while options are still open. I also take this chance to discuss dietary needs if needed. Gluten-free, vegan, allergies, you name it. And here's a bonus. While others are fighting for buffet seating, I'm already planning my cruise around what I need, not what's left. It's easy to get excited and just start wandering the ship. But smart cruisers? They head straight to their cabin. Why? Because this is your chance to fix any issues before the rush hits. I check everything right away. Is the room location okay? Is the balcony view obstructed? Are the beds set up correctly? Does the air conditioning work? I test the lights, the safe, the outlets, even the pillows. If something's wrong, I flag it to the cabin steward immediately. They'll be much more responsive before they're swamped with every other guest on the ship. If there's a real problem, like noise, layout, or a maintenance issue, I go to guest services early, before the line starts snaking through the atrium. And yes, I lock up my valuables in the safe, then take quick photos of the cabin while it's still clean. That way, I start my cruise organized, not already behind. Embarkation Day can feel chaotic, unless you've already done your homework. That's why I pre-book everything I can before I board. I'm talking drinks packages, Wi-Fi, spa treatments, excursions, specialty dining, the works. Why? Because booking early usually means lower prices and better availability. Plus, it frees up my first day on the ship. While others are waiting in lines to reserve dinner or scramble for internet, I'm already enjoying my vacation. And when I do need to make changes, it's easier to tweak a plan than build one from scratch. Smart cruisers don't waste day one on logistics. They get it all sorted before the ship leaves port. Embarkation Day can get rocky fast if your bags don't show up when you expect them. That's why I always pack a carry-on bag with the essentials I can't afford to lose. I ask myself, if my main luggage vanished, what would I absolutely need to get through the day? Or even the entire cruise? For me, that's medication, passport, credit cards, cash, phone, chargers, camera gear, and that's about it. If I had to, I could buy the rest on board or in port. But without those items, I'm in serious trouble. And here's the second part of this rule. Never pack anything you're not allowed to bring. Sounds obvious, but I've seen people get pulled aside for things like extension cords, full-size irons, or too much alcohol. Worse, some even try to sneak on drones, only to end up wasting time at security. Avoiding these items keeps your bags out of trouble, and you out of the Embarkation Day penalty box. Here's something most people don't realize. Embarkation night is the best time to book a specialty restaurant. Why? Well, because it's often cheaper and definitely quieter. While everyone else crowds into the buffet or main dining room, I'm enjoying a relaxed, high-quality meal without the chaos. No wait times, no noise, just great food and attentive service. Some cruise lines even offer discounts on specialty dining for night one to encourage early bookings. It also gives me the perfect chance to kick off my trip with something memorable, instead of waiting until later in the cruise. And if I decide I want to try another restaurant later on, no problem. The staff is available and flexible on day one. Smart cruisers skip the scramble and start with the steakhouse. Right after lunch, before I even think about exploring, I switch my phone to airplane mode. Why? Because your phone might silently connect to the ship's satellite network. And that means massive roaming charges. I've heard horror stories of people racking up hundreds in fees just by leaving their phone on. Once airplane mode is on, I set the time zone manually to match the ship's time. Why not auto-update? Because your phone might switch to local port time instead of ship time, and that can mess with your schedule in a big way. If you're not on ship time, you could easily miss events, or worse, miss the ship when it departs. So now, airplane mode goes on early, time zone gets set manually, and I avoid both the panic and the bill. The smartest thing I do before embarkation day, I always arrive at least one day early, especially for long-haul cruises. It's not glamorous, it's not exciting, but it's the single best insurance policy you can give your trip. On my Panama Canal cruise with Oceania, a storm swept across Europe and canceled my flight just hours before takeoff. If I had planned to arrive the same day as the cruise, I would have missed the ship, but because I built in that buffer day, I had time to find another flight, and still arrived early. Booking a hotel for the night before might feel like an extra expense, but trust me, it's cheaper than missing the cruise altogether. Smart cruisers never cut it close. I thought I was prepared. I had every single document I needed, check-in QR code, all saved on my phone. But then I got to the cruise terminal, and the Wi-Fi didn't work. Suddenly, I couldn't pull up anything. That moment taught me a hard lesson. Always have offline access to your documents. Now, before I travel, I do two things. First, I print paper copies of everything, just in case. Second, I create a folder on my phone with all my cruise docs saved for offline use. Dropbox, Google Drive, even the Files app, whatever works for you. Just make sure you can open everything without needing a signal, because nothing kills excitement faster than fumbling with a dead screen at check-in. If you're cruising with kids, there's one thing you absolutely need to do on embarkation day. Register them for the Kids Club. Don't wait until the second day. Don't assume it's automatic. Go early, right after lunch if possible, because spots fill up fast, especially for younger age groups. It's quick, it's easy, and it gives your kids a chance to get familiar with the space before it gets crowded. And if you're planning to book babysitting or nighttime programs, do it now, while the schedule is wide open. Waiting even a few hours can mean fully booked sessions and disappointed little cruisers. A smooth first day for your kids? That's a smoother cruise for everyone. After I've settled in, handled dining, and checked off my must-dos, now it's finally time to explore. But I don't just wander aimlessly. I explore the ship with a plan. Why? Because I've been on cruises where I didn't discover the best lounges or quiet spots until day 5. And by then, it's too late. I use the ship map in my cruise card holder, the app, or join a guided tour if one's offered. I always look for tucked-away spaces, adult-only decks, cozy observation lounges, spa areas, or shaded outdoor seating. And if the ship has premium areas like the retreat or sanctuary. Embarkation Day is your one chance to walk through and see if it's worth the upgrade. After today, access is restricted. Plus, the ship's still quiet, so it's the perfect time to snap some great photos before it gets crowded. Smart cruisers explore early, so they cruise better all week long. After all the unpacking, planning, booking, and exploring, there's one thing I never skip on Embarkation Day: the sail-away party. It's more than music and drinks. It's the official start of your cruise. The moment the ship pulls away and the horn sounds, it all sinks in. You're finally off. No more to-do lists, just ocean and adventure ahead. It's also where I get a first look at the entertainment team, spot familiar faces, and sometimes meet people who'll become cruise friends for life. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed by the day, this is where it melts away. Grab a drink, find a rail with a view, and take in the moment. It's what all that planning was for, and it's absolutely worth it.